This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News 9. English news as it should be.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Padmaja Joshi and you're watching In Your Interest. A massive political tremor has rocked India's landscape a day after the court acquittal of those accused in the 2008 Malegaon blast case. Comes a yet another twist. A former Maharashtra anti-terror squad officer, Mehmood Mujawar, has dropped a bombshell claim. He has alleged that he was ordered to pick up none other than RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat during the early stages of the Malegaon blast case investigation. Mujawar says there was pressure on him to prove a narrative of Saffron Terror, and when he resisted, there were false cases foisted against him. He was punished, jailed and defamed.
जो मेरे वरिष्ठ अधिकारी है, मेरे बॉस जो थे परमवीर सिंह थे और उसके ऊपर के अधिकारी थे, उनका आदेश था उनको मोहन भागवत को उठा के लाओ, ऐसा था। और तब उस वक्त भगवा आतंकवाद का कंसेप्ट चल रहा था मीडिया के अंदर, और ये जो झूठे काम करने के लिए मेरे बोला तो मैंने नहीं किया, उसकी मेरे को सजा मिली। झूठा काम नहीं करने से मेरे को अटक किया गया, जेल में डाला गया। मेरे को उसमें का एक पार्ट का तपास दिया गया था, एक अलग से ये दिया गया था मेरे को कि उसमें जो एब्सकॉन्डर है संदीप डांगे, रामजी कलसंगरा, इसके बारे में मेरे को आदेश दिया गया था। संदीप डांगे और रामजी कलसंगरा से मिला के केस करना चाहते थे वो, मगर वो बाद में वो रामजी कलसंगरा और संदीप डांगे का मर्डर हो गया, इन कस्टडी में खत्म कर दिया।
Maybu Mujawar, by the way, is a retired police inspector now, whose father also served in the police force and his grandfather fought in World War II. He served in the ATS as part of the Malegaon probe under Paramveer Singh, who was the additional commissioner of the ATS at that time. It's not the first time that he has challenged the ATS and stated these facts. Back in 2016, that was the first time that he claimed that 2 blast accused were killed in a fake encounter. Remember, both of these men have currently been designated as absconding, but Mujawar said in 2016 that in fact they are not absconding. They have been picked up and killed in a fake encounter by the Maharashtra ATS. This revelation naturally has added fuel to the disclosure of how the so-called Hindu terrorism was a narrative that was built over years altogether, and where the Malegaon blast case was used as an example. Now, the political fight is not just about the verdict that came about yesterday, because now the question is, was there a bigger conspiracy at play? Was there a more sinister game plan of picking up leaders who are of the right wing, who are linked to the RSS, who are linked to the BJP, and to finish them not just politically but also physically?
मेरे ख्याल से आतंकवादी होता है, वो न भगवा होता है न हरा होता है, वो आतंकवादी होता है। और आतंकवादी को आतंकवादी नज़र से ही देखना चाहिए, वो आतंकवादी है ऐसा समझ के उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई करना बहुत ज़रूरी है। आज ये खाली हिंदू आतंकवादी है, इनको इस तरह से छूट देने का अगर होगा तो क्या हम पाकिस्तान की तरफ जा रहे हैं? क्या पाकिस्तान जो रास्ता अमल में ला रही है, आतंकवादियों को आतंकवाद फैलाने का काम सरकार के जरिए होता है, वैसा यहाँ है।
जबरन किस प्रकार से भारतीय जनता पार्टी और जो लोग हिंदू धर्म को मानते हैं और संघ के उच्चस्थ स्थान पर, उच्च पदवी पर जो लोग आसीन हैं, किस प्रकार से उनको अपमानित किया जाए, उनको गिरफ्तार किया जाए, उनसे बदला लिया जाए, इस प्रकार के विंडिक्टिव एटीट्यूड के साथ उस समय की कांग्रेस पार्टी काम कर रही थी, और यह सब कुछ गांधी परिवार के कहने पर हो रहा था।
एजेंसीज के ऊपर कोई दबाव सरकार का होना नहीं चाहिए, निष्पक्षपात से उन्होंने काम करनी जरूरी है। और सरकार, अगर कोई भी सरकार हो, इस तरह की बात करती है और जो अधिकारी इतने सालों के बाद कह रहा है, उसके ऊपर भी देखना चाहिए कि भाई उस वक्त आपने क्यों नहीं ये किया, आपको किसने रोका था, या आप किस लिए, अगर आप भी उस दबाव में आते हैं तो गलत काम करते हैं वो आप।
ये पूरा षड्यंत्र ये कांग्रेस प्रणीत यूपीए सरकार का था। पुलिस ने उनके दबाव में काम किया, क्योंकि 9/11 के बाद इस्लामिक टेररिज्म इस प्रकार का जो एक नरेटिव कॉइन हुआ और पूरे विश्व में हुआ, तो कहीं ना कहीं उसको जवाब देने के लिए या एक प्रकार से जो एक्सट्रीमिस्ट विचारों के लोग हैं उनको वोट बैंक में परिवर्तित करने के लिए हिंदू टेररिज्म और भगवा टेररिज्म ये वर्ड कॉइन करने के लिए पुलिस पर दबाव डालकर ये सारी चीजें की गई।
And that brings us to the big questions of the day. Was Saffron Terror pitch in the Malegaon blast case not just a manufactured narrative, but was there a bigger conspiracy at play? Was there an effort then to actually bring down leaders on the right, and more specifically those linked to the RSS, including the then RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat? Dhirendra Tayal, spokesperson of the BJP, joins us along with Professor Sangeet Ragi, political analyst, Pankaj Vora, senior journalist. But my first question is to Chitra Batham, Congress spokesperson. Chitra Batham, a claim that was first made by this gentleman in 2017, and now he is reiterating it. So, saying that he has woken up now because the BJP is in power doesn't really make sense. He's been saying this all along. Ma'am, I think you've muted yourself. Can you unmute, please?
Hello, Padmaja. Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear, ma'am. Go on.
Yeah. So, good evening to you as well as the viewers and my fellow panelists. Well, it's a very valid question as to where was he if he was the investigating officer in this respective case, then why he did not open his mouth for almost 17 years. This case that shook India to the core, I would say. There were 2 bomb blasts which killed 6 people and injured more than 100 people. This was completely a very well devised case per se. So there were so many incidents and there were so many what do you say evidences. What happened to those evidences? If everybody is acquitted, then who did it?
Ma'am, I just mentioned he has opened his mouth before. He hasn't waited for 17 years. He opened his mouth in 2017. Less than 10 years after the blast, he did open his mouth in 2017. Not only did he say that there was an attempt to try and pick up Mohan Bhagwat, and I want the people to focus on the fact that he is not saying to arrest Mohan Bhagwat. He's actually said, just like Sandeep Dange and Ramji Kalsangra, who he had claimed in 2017 were killed in a fake encounter by the ATS, he is saying कि मेरे को बोला मोहन भागवत को उठा लीजिए जैसे कि रामजी कालसांगरा और संदीप डांगे, almost insinuating that perhaps there was an attempt to try and cause physical harm to Mohan Bhagwat at that time. These are serious charges and he has been repeating them for at least the last 8 years.
Padmaja ji, if I may say, I would also like to add to this perspective thing. There's always also another investigating officer, Mr. Shamsuddin Munif, who has also claimed that the way in which ATS Chief Hemant Karkare had collected all the evidences, it was completely scientifically backed, and yet all these 17 people are acquitted today. He has written a book, Who Killed Hemant Karkare, and he has listed and detailed everything into that respective book. So he is suggesting that everything was done as per protocol, everything was done constitutionally, and everything was done legally. So
okay, but ma'am, with the greatest of respect, if I was asked to choose between the legality and the believability of a book, with the greatest of respect to Mr. Shamsuddin, he has written a book. We are talking one about a court order. The NIA court has ordered. So they have gone at length, Justice Lahoti has gone at length into everything, both sides of the argument, and given a judgment. So here is a special court judgment vis-a-vis a book.
NIA court has said that due to lack of evidence, you are acquitting everybody.
Okay.
So where is the evidence? That is what everybody is asking. So bomb blast happened
I don't know. I mean, you can ask Paramveer Singh. He was heading the ATS when you were in government in Maharashtra. I mean, where is the evidence is a great point. Where is the evidence? Where was the evidence? Was there any evidence? Was the evidence manufactured? Was the evidence gotten rid of? These are all very legitimate and valid questions. The question is, who's going to answer them?
It is the responsibility of the government.
Okay.
You are looking at the narrative, where the narrative is being set. Just a day before, Mr. Amit Shah in the parliament claims that, about the Hindus and all not being terrorists, and the very next day.
So are you saying that Mehmood Mujawar is also playing into that narrative, or he's a cog in the wheel of that narrative?
Everything is very suspicious the way these things are happening.
Okay.
You have to look at the chronology of the incidents that are happening.
Okay, interesting. Dhirendra Tayal, a phrase much used by your party today, Chitra Batam is saying, chronology samajhiye. And suddenly you have a Mehmood Mujawar. So first you had the Home Minister say Hindus can never be terrorists. Then you had this NIA court judgment. And now you have this Mehmood Mujawar also who has popped up.
Thank you so much, Pooja. So what is, let me tell you, she's been quoting a book, so let me quote a book to her. This is by Rakesh Maurya, who is the former police commissioner of Mumbai. He's written a book, let me say it now, where astoundingly what he says is that there was a complete plan to even put 26/11 as Hindu terror. And he says, had Constable I think it was Eknath Omble, Tukaram Omble. If Tukanath Omble had not arrested, Tukaram Omble, had he not arrested Ajmal Kasab live, it would have been termed as Hindu terror. And see the facts there that there was klava on his wrist. So there was every attempt to make it that this was a Hindu doing. Unfortunately for the Jachans of this country, he was caught live. Now that is the state of affairs.
But but the Congress is saying Mehmood Mujawar is a Jachand who is suddenly now trying to milk this to his benefit. Because let's face it, and this fact also must be put out, he has faced departmental inquiry. There was a case against him. And now because the BJP is in government, he's trying to get on the right side of the narrative and perhaps get post-retirement benefits from you.
No, Chitra, in any case, had come with a prepared this thing. Unfortunately, you stumped her because she had come with this narrative. Why did he wake up right now? So he woke up, 8 years ago. So he's not waking up today. And the person they want to believe, Paramveer Singh, where is he? He's a proclaimed offender. So that is where we stand today. And this is all concocted. And now she's challenging the court. The court has been there, or rather various courts have been there even earlier.
Okay.
Pragya ji was not acquitted. Where 3 other people were acquitted, she was not acquitted and she was made to stand trial. If that had been the case, even she would have been acquitted then. But the court has gone through it, but I think it will be good for the Congress that they should start respecting the courts. What they have been doing all along, they've even fabricated. The Congress and its allies have fabricated blasts. And let me tell you, this is the case where Sharad Pawar in 1993, when he was the CM, there were 12 blasts in Bombay, and he fabricated a 13th blast in, he said this happened in the Masjid Bandar area, and later admitted that I fabricated it so that it should seem there was a blast not only in the Hindu areas but also in a Muslim area. That is the kind of thing Congress and its allies have been doing all along.
Okay, let me ask you then, Pankaj Vora, because you have seen this entire period from 1993 to 2006, 2008. Are we now seeing the opening of a can of worms? Because I also want to quote a part of what has been recorded in the judgment of this NIA court. They have actually spoken about this gentleman, Mehmood Mujawar, and has said that while a lot of his claims are debunked by the prosecution witness, but prosecution witness ACP Mohan Kulkarni has actually admitted that he was sent to find out about accused 1, which is Ramji Kalsangra, and accused 2, Sandeep Dange. Unka pata lagane ke liye bheja gaya tha. And second, that this person has actually put all of his claims on record before the court as well. So he is not just trying to now make a political statement. He has said it before court, he has said it earlier. Could this have really happened? That all of this was a part of a bigger conspiracy somehow to target Mohan Bhagwat and other leaders?
You should see it in the light of a lot of things which are happening today. Firstly, Mehmood Mujawar himself needs to be investigated, and it has to be ascertained the claims which he is making whether they are true or not. No right-thinking IPS officer, whether Parampir Singh or anybody else who was a superior, would, order a Muslim officer to go to the RSS headquarters and pick up Mohan Bhagwat, who's the, Sar Sanchalak of the organization, and, bring him out here. And, this itself is very, very, astonishing if this kind of an order was given. Why would, he be chosen? If the Congress and the government of that time was wanting to, somehow bring forward the Hindu terror narrative, I mean, this would have, totally spoiled it, because why would a Muslim officer be sent to arrest a RSS chief, number one? Number two, when these things have been disclosed and these his disclosures are being debated, it is a time when there is a tussle going on within the Sangh Parivar, within the BJP, and and various groups are at play, wanting to ensure that the president of the party is as per their faction's choice, and the next vice president of India also gets elected according to the choice. In this light, this disclosure comes out. Even if he has said it, the court, the court has basically presented this judgment based on the evidence which was, placed before it. So, it obviously will reach a conclusion which it has reached, because whatever the evidence was, the prosecution was unable to substantiate its charges, was unable to, press its case, was unable to build up its case in the court. So the court, has basically given its judgment based on what was presented before it, and that is what it is. And so far as this Hindu terror narrative is concerned, it is, a very political statement, whether it was made by the Congress or whether BJP is trying to milk it now.
Okay, interesting point that you have raised about the timing and the tussle within the Sangh. Just to say, Sangeet Ragi, do you think that, this has got something to do with the tussle happening within the larger Sangh Parivar? And anyway, Mr. Mujawar should be taken with a pinch of salt.
Padmaja, I don't think any rational voice would say that this case has to do with the ongoing so-called power politics within the Sangh Parivar between the BJP and RSS. This judgment was written 3 months ago. The judge started writing. It's a 1,000-page, judgment. So this has nothing to do with the politics of the day. The matter of fact is both the points that I would like to make. First, the Hindu terror. You look at Tada. Most of the people who were arrested under Tada were the Muslims. Then 9/11 happens in United States of America, and subsequently in Europe and other parts of the world, the Islamic terror bombing took place. Subsequently, at the same time, in India, you find that terror bombing were taking place in different parts of the country. And the Congress narrative was that terror has no religion. But the matter of fact was that Islamic terrorism has become a buzzword and the popular narrative all across the world. Now, this was going against the Congress party. There was a kind of, sentiments going against the Muslim community. And also because the Congress party has been always patronizing such elements right from the beginning, so it was going against the Congress. So the Congress designed this entire concept of Bhagwa Atankvad.
Okay.
And the case is fabricated on the two grounds I am saying. In every criminal case, you have two grounds. One, that is the direct evidence, and second is the circumstantial evidence. I am not a lawyer, but little bit, understanding of this is that the NIA court said that there was no direct evidence. So where do you fall on? Then you fall on the circumstantial evidence. All this were provided by the NIA. NIA was constituted and the material well gathered during the Congress regime itself. And everything was, placed before the court.
No, but this Mehmood Mujawar, can we trust him? Because now he's given it a much bigger and a very different twist. He's saying, well, they were trying to bump off people.
We have reason to believe it because not only he, many of officials, padadhikaris of Vishwa Hindu Parishad, Sadhvi Ritambra, they were tortured. It is not one case. Many people belonging to the Sangh Parivar were tortured by the ATS, by the CBI and the agencies at that point of time. Second point, if the two people are missing and which we have come to understand that they have been killed.
So he claims, Mehmood Mujawar claims that they have been killed in a fake encounter. It still hasn't been proven. Technically, they are absconding.
They are missing. So we have every reason to believe. Where have they gone? Where are they missing? Why they are not appearing?
Chitra Batham?
There is every reason to believe that they have been killed by the ATS Maharashtra.
So just like Sandeep Dange could have been bumped off, just like Ramchandra Kalsangra could have been bumped off, maybe there was an effort to bump off or kill other people as well in fake encounters.
I think Mr. Sangeet Ragi has a lot of information. So I think he is the best person who should give us information on where Mr. Sandeep Dange is and Mr. Kalran is. Okay, now I would like to ask you, is BJP going to man up that the Saffron Terror word that was coined by R.K. Singh and they made him a minister in their regime, are they going to man up and they're going to ask him as to why he did that?
No, on this limited issue of people being killed in encounters, I also want to point out, I don't know what information Sangeet Ragi has, but this very NIA court order also mentions a statement, ma'am, this is important for people to know. It also mentions a statement made by Milind Jooshi Raos. He has said it in court, and Milind Joshi has said that the ATS put pressure on me to name people like Yogi Adityanath, Indresh Kumar, Sadhvi Ritambara, Kakaji, Swami Asibanand and Professor Devghar. So he has put this on record and this is a part of the NIA court judgment. So it's not all in the realm of speculation, Ms. Batham.
So are you saying that was there a political pressure to torture these people to kind of name them? Not everything can be linked with Congress. Come on, they are independent law enforcement agencies who know how to do their jobs well, and after they
Sangeet Ragi, it's also very, I have to say, it is really nice for you to be calling agencies independent after a very long time, considering that you have dubbed all the agencies handmaidens of the government. But it's nice to hear you say that the NIA is independent.
I'm smiling because she should speak with Rahul Gandhi and say that these agencies are independent, because the Congress is charging that neither the ATS
No, but on a serious note, can you pin all of this on the Congress? Because today it is being said, Dhirendra Tayal.
For the past 11 years, so for the past 11 years, the BJP is in the ruling. You think NIA would not have got influenced by them? And still after the BJP regime that came into force in 2014, and the Congress's influence. What nonsense is this? What kind of narrative are you trying to set? You do something or you don't do anything, you still try to pin everything onto Congress.
Sangeet Ragi, very conveniently pinning it all on the Congress.
Padmaja, Congress party and its leader Rahul Gandhi spoke with the Americans that right-wing organizations in India are far dangerous compared to Lashkar-e-Taiba and Hizbul Mujahideen.
No, I think they said more dangerous than Simi, if I am not mistaken. They said they are more dangerous than Simi.
No, Lashkar-e-Taiba. So remember that the Congress wanted to kill the leadership of the RSS. The Congress wanted to implicate the leadership of the RSS and the right-wing organizations from the Vishwa Hindu Parishad to other Hindu organizations. What they wanted to square up with, that look, the way there is Islamic radicalism, similarly we have Hindu radicalism here in India. So the Congress party...
But how would they prove that there is Hindu radicalism by killing Hindu leaders?
No. I'm saying 2 points. One, they wanted to implicate the Hindu leaders and to finish the Hindu leaders, number one. Number two, the coinage of the term Bhagwa Atankvad, Saffron Terror, It was simply to demonstrate that terror has no religion, whereas matter of fact is that Islamic terrorism is an established fact.
Mr. Vora?
Well, so far as terror is concerned, there are a lot of instances where Muslims are involved in terror activities. There's no doubt over it. It's all over the world. But it does not mean that people belonging to other communities are not involved. I'm not talking about Hindu terror, or I'm not talking of any specific religion. But there are instances of people from other religions also indulging in acts of terror. Even within India,
tell me one instance. Tell me one instance.
During
one instance of Hindu terror.
Militancy. Professor Ragi, let me speak. Let me speak, please. It happened in Punjab during the peak of militancy. There were militants who were not Hindus. They were not Muslims. It has happened in the Northeast. All kinds of militant activities are going on, and they are not Muslims who are indulging in that. So, while it is a fact that, in most of the major cases which have come up or are discussed, there are Muslim suspects who are involved out there, but it does not absolve others of this. Having said that, let me be also very clear. This is a court judgment. We have to respect it. And we should also understand how do the courts work. The courts work according to what is the evidence which is placed on record before them. In this particular case also, there were many people who were prosecution witnesses who backed out. There were many other things which were properly not placed. It has happened, these kind of shoddy things have happened during the time when the Congress was in power. It is happening when the present government is in power. Most of the investigating agencies, also which are, otherwise rated very highly, have also a very shoddy record so far as conviction is concerned.
Yep.
In this particular case, if these people have been absolved, it is because the court has found no evidence against them.
And in fact, a lot of those prosecution witnesses turned hostile, saying that they had been put under duress, that they were subjected to torture, and they recorded those statements. But Sangeet Ragi wanted to respond, and I'm coming to you, Dhirendra Tayal.
Padmaja, it is a very, I sometimes become upset when I see this kind of intellectual oversimplification of the things and piloting the narrative that look, terrorist activities are also in Northeast. Are you suggesting that Ulfa is involved in the terror activities based on the religion? Or in the Northeast, the activities, if I would say, then the Baptist Church is behind many of the violence in the Northeast. Do you know that in Nagaland, Pandit Nehru had, entered into arrangement with the missionaries that the sadhus will not be going there. And entire Nagaland has been converted into Christianity. So, Baptist Church is playing a very divisive role in that. I don't want to go into that.
Yes, because that will be a much larger and very contentious. We'll go into
argument.
Tell me one example. Tell me one example of Hindu terror. I'm challenging you, Pankaj Bohra. Tell me one example of Hindu terrorism.
Mr. Bohra.
In any part of the world. Even in case of Kashmir, where 450,000 Kashmiri Hindus were forced to leave the valley. Even then the Hindus didn't pick the gun.
Okay, one quick answer to that, then I will go to Dhirendra Tayal.
I'm not pushing agenda of any political party or any political ideology. But, people who killed Rajiv Gandhi, for instance, were they, Muslims? Were they not Hindus?
What faith were they from? Again.
No, you are really trying to say, Mr. Vora. Mr. Vora, what is it that you are really trying to say? One fails to understand. You're clutching at some straws. Here the talk is there such a thing as and you are going ahead with group phenomenon. It is not just Islamic terrorism. So
Mr.
What are you trying to defend, Mr. Vora? You are clutching at straws. Sometimes you are saying it is because
there's no clutching of straws.
Sometimes you are saying it is because of the president or the vice president of the country. Sometimes
I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this. I'm just giving you the background in which this thing has come up. I'm not saying this at all. Don't put words in my mouth.
Please listen also to others. Once you have made ridiculous statements, please learn to listen.
Okay,
We are talking about whether there is such a thing. Chitra has said that there is the coinage of the term. Chidambaram has used it, or Digvijay Singh has used it, and they have, or somebody very, very senior in the Congress, very youthful leader, say that he compared RSS with Simi and with Lashkar-e-Taiba and all kinds of Saffron Terror. Just like the vote banks, they have been doing it for their vote banks. And please, Mr. Bora, I think you had enough of a say here. Mr. Digvijay Singh went to the extent of releasing a book on 26/11 saying RSS ki sajish. That is the kind of thing they've been trying to do to protect their vote bank and going against the Hindus. Against the Sanatan, they've been saying Sanatan is AIDS, Sanatan is malaria, Sanatan is dengue, Sanatan should be... And anybody deny that, deny that Congress and its allies have been anti-Sanatan, and they've been trying to...
One at a time. Okay, Mr. Tayal, fine. So there was this concerted attempt to try and buttonhole Hindus, the community, some leaders in particular. The logical next question would be, you have been in government now in Maharashtra and as well as at the center. People like Mr. Mehboob have, and not just him, other people have also made statements about this wide-ranging conspiracy. Has any kind of investigation been instituted? Have people been investigated? Has evidence been sought? Because it's a very serious charge to say that I was asked to pick up Mohan Bhagwat and perhaps bump him off. It's been 7-8 years since he's made that claim. What has been done to investigate it?
Well, I believe that investigation is on that. It has not been left out. But at the moment, what has happened is the claim that Mr. Vora made that a lot of investigation has not been done or presented. More than 300 witnesses have been examined. 17 years have been taken, and multiple agencies have been involved. Then to conveniently come and say, oh well, I don't think the courts may have been satisfied, but I am not satisfied with the quality of the work that has been done. The courts have every right to tell the issue.
Okay, let Mr. Vora respond to that.
The courts have every right to tell the agency that your investigation is shoddy. Please come back with more work done. Do the courts not have that power?
Okay, Mr. Tayal, I'm requesting you, because both of you have joined online. If you speak together, neither of you are heard and both of you are very muffled. So now let Mr. Vora respond.
In a criminal case, when investigation takes place, the prosecution agency, that is the police or whatever government agency is there, investigates, puts forward a charge sheet, puts forward its arguments and presents, places all the evidence on record before the court. Now it is the onus of proving all those charges is on the prosecution agency. The courts in this particular case found that the prosecution was unable to prove what the charges were, and there were enough loopholes which gave benefit of doubt to the accused.
Okay.
And there was not sufficient evidence which was on record which would have indicated.
Okay, so okay, Sangeet Ragi coming in now.
Padmada, let me answer Mr. Vora. They were placed in the jail for 9 years, and during that period, it was the Congress party at the center as well as in the state of Maharashtra. But they couldn't frame the charge sheet. They couldn't place the charge sheet. Who was preventing them? Mr. Pankaj Kohra, you can today accuse Maharashtra ATS. You can accuse today NIA because the BJP government is at center and Maharashtra government is led by BJP. BJP government is in Maharashtra. But when the Congress party was in power at the center as well as in a state, even then the charges couldn't be framed. And they were put behind bar for 9 years.
Okay, so I want to, in the last minute is left, I really want to ask the Sangeet Ragi.
Last point.
Okay, last 10 seconds, please. Yes.
Even NIA court never said that there was a shoddy, prosecution. It didn't say.
No, but the NIA court has said, I think it's important to state that there is a strong suspicion, but we are giving benefit of doubt because the prosecution has failed to prove its case. But there is a strong suspicion that the NIA court has said.
that said that the dots couldn't be connected.
Okay, fine. See, as far as this court judgment is concerned, now it's going to be appealed. The Jamiat has already appealed. Some of the victims will also go and appeal. Hopefully, the state will go and appeal. But my question is then, Sangeet Ragi, as an observer, don't you sometimes wonder what about Parambir Singh? If he is this mastermind, this manipulator, this, somebody who is thinking up all of these conspiracies against people like Yogi Adityanath, Mohan Bhagwat, why isn't he in jail for the last 17 years?
I think that I have been raising this question since morning today, Padmaja, that inquiry should be instituted and the inquiry committee should go into, and that person should be behind the bar. The case must be framed against Mr. Parambir Singh and all the members of the ATS who were part of concocting and manufacturing or fabricating their stories against the right-wing organizations and the individuals.
All right, and maybe such a case will then finally make people believe.
To the best of my knowledge, Parambir Singh is a proclaimed offender and is absconding.
But sir, not in this case. As to the best of my knowledge, there is no case against him for fudging the Malegaon blast.
Yeah, I agree with you. But when you're saying why is he not behind bars? Because he's absconding. He's a
No, he should be behind bars. There should be a case. Is there even a case against him for malafide trying to trap people in the Malegaon blast investigation for plotting the murder, as some people seem to suggest, of Mohan Bhagwat and Yogi Adityanath? Is there even an FIR against him on that count? There should be. There should be, and he should be behind bars on those charges, not of other improprieties, what he currently is facing charges on. And if that has happened, when that happens, only then people will finally have faith that this is not just a political allegation, that there is some substance to these charges. Let's hope that happens. For the time being, all gentlemen, thanks very much for joining me in your interest. Thanks very much for watching.
एसोसिएट स्पॉन्सर एंकर टूथपेस्ट, नए जमाने की नई सुरक्षा।
चंडीगढ़, कोयम्बतूर